Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I'm Manny. My guest on the program is best described as combative and loquacious here sometimes. Once and when she was growing up, she had no idea what she was going to be or become. But she knew one thing, that she will be somebody important.
Marilyn Inya Oga is a linguist, an accomplished security intelligence officer, former head of Public Relations Department, and spokesperson for the Department of State Security. She was born on the 7th of July 1963 as a fifth child to His Royal Highness Okim Nicholas and Ma Mary at Yamoyong in Obubra local government area of Cross River State. Marilyn attended Cornelia Connolly College, CCC Uyo, in 1977 for her secondary school education. She then proceeded to the University of Grenoble, where she obtained a diploma in French literature and civilization. She also attended the University of Calabar, where she bagged a Bachelor of Arts in French language. After her service as a corps member, Marilyn joined the then State Security Service, now DSS, and grew within the ranks. Her time in the service was marked by many accomplishments and successes. In the year 2000, she was made the head of public relations, and then that spiraled into her becoming the spokesperson for the service. This role made her a national source of information in the then fight against insurgency. But in 2015, after 27 years in active service, she was compulsorily retired. She's a recipient of numerous awards and a fellow of the Nigerian Institute for Industrial Security. Marilyn Oga is blessed with children and grandchildren.
Hello, Marilyn. How are you?
I'm fine, Manny.
Well, you're looking gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
I have to say that because this is not the hair I saw you with the last time. Or, I mean, it has to be some kind of fashion that you're trying to project.
Not at all. Now, traditionally, right? By the way, I just lost my dad.
You did, yes.
And he was the Royal Highness of my town.
Okay.
So when he passed, right? Growing up, everybody has said I look so much like my dad. He is my first love. He loved me and I loved him so much.
Wow.
He meant so much to me. And traditionally, you know, when your dad passes, you know, you were required to take off your hair.
Ooh.
And so, in this century, a lot of people don't think it's necessary. But I'm a very traditional girl or lady.
We're knowing now that you are.
I am. And so that's the last respect I can pay, you know, for him, for all the memories, for all the love and all the care he gave to me, you know, and for making me what I am today.
What sort of subject combination qualified you to work in the DSS?
No, I read French.
Yeah.
I studied French in the university. Now, after graduation and NYSC, I had a friend of mine. She's now the director in Imo State, Mrs. Iko Athowari. You know, we were friends right from the university, and then her uncle then was the late IGP, Etam Inyang. So we were living together. She was apparently living with me. So when we finished NYSC, we were looking for jobs, and the uncle said, okay, you know what? I'm going to send you to somewhere that I think you girls will be very useful. We're a threesome. So he now sent us to the DSS or the NSO then. Or no, it has just changed to the SSS then for the interview.
So stand.
So I remember when I went for the interview, And I was asked what were the duties of an intelligent officer. I'd never heard anything like that before. And I looked straight into the eyes of the interviewer. I remembered my father, that, you must never give up. And I said to him, you know what? You just give me the job. And after training, ask me this question again. And if I don't give you the answer, then you can send me out. And he looked at me and said, this one must be very smart. So that was how I got the job.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of a person were you growing up in the ranks,
Very humble.
You are?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Now, I tell you it's something of a truth. Up until my retirement, I never got a query. Yes. When you talk about loyalty and dedication to job, yes, that's me.
You talk about retirement. Well, I thought you were kicked out of the service.
Of course, it was premature retirement because as at 2015, when I was asked to go, I still had about 8 years more in service.
Okay, so what did you have to do? Did you not object to, leaving prematurely?
Of course, I went to court. Well, all that is history, I'm a patriot to the core. And I just wish every other person.
Truly Nigerian.
Truly Nigerian. Because immediately after I was kicked out of service, it was very interesting that I had some foreign security services come to offer me job opportunities that I denied because I never wanted to be used as a hostile intelligence agent against my country. So I turned it down.
What memories do you have of your days in service?
Well, very interesting ones. Very, very interesting ones. In fact, I remember Miriam Babangida's First Lady regime when she had that first conference of all African First Ladies. I was attached to the Congolese First Lady because of my knowledge of French language. And she came in at the Federal Guest House in Victoria Island then.
The federal government special guest house.
Yes, special guest house. Her official detail was a male. And he arrived, what happens is that when we have this kind of visits, we try to look at each other's weapon to ensure that they are proper and all that. He arrived with a revolver, it was a small revolver. And I asked him for his weapon just to ensure that it was on safety. And he handed over the weapon to me. Now, he handed over the weapon to me with the nozzle. And it's wrong. So I reached out for his arm, and collected the gun from the butt. Now, when I was going to hand it over to him, I observed that his revolver was not on safety catch. So I gave it back to him, right? And something just pricked me on my back. And I went down, and his weapon fired. So if I hadn't gone down, it would have gone straight through my heart. But it brushed through my breast, pierced my blouse into the chair where I was sitting. And I got up, I looked at him, and picked up my own brownie and cocked it. So I looked at him, he looked at me, and then went on his knees and said it was a mistake. And I said to him, you are a poorly trained officer. And he said, yes, he knows that because for a woman to be carrying a brownie meant volumes. And then I laughed, and so we just hugged. All throughout that visit, I ensured that he never walked behind me. I walked behind him because that way I was
couldn't trust him.
No, I couldn't trust him. I couldn't trust his weapon handling skills and all that,
With the recent developments, in the country at the moment, do you think, it was right to ban, the...
For those protesting and calling for the ban of SARS or reforming the police force, now, as individuals, as Nigerians, we must be able to do an introspect. Our behaviors.
Who are you referring to now? The people or the police?
Everybody.
Okay.
Whether me, myself, as a security operative, or the civilian that is unarmed, right? Like I said to people, the firearm itself has a spirit that governs it. I can be very civil when I'm talking to you because I'm unarmed. But once I carry a weapon, I feel I am above you. And the slightest provocation, can make me feel, okay, I can use this firearm. It's not as if it's ethical. It's very, very unethical. But when you know that somebody is armed, all you have to do is stay calm. You know your rights. You don't have to argue. Because first of all, you don't know the mental state of the individual carrying the firearm.
Do they need training, Do they need training to correct their mental states or to keep it in balance?
The truth about working for the security outfit in Nigeria is this. We are overworked and underpaid. A situation where you are sending somebody out and you are not taking his welfare into consideration. He has a family that is looking up to him. He has a community that is looking up onto him, right? And you want him to go and come. There's a danger there that he's not going to give you his all. Because he could die. And who takes care of his family?
Were you well paid while you were in service?
Well, I would say to a reasonable level, yes. But if you ask me, I would say the pay is not commensurate to the job that we do. Yes.
You would have wanted more.
Of course.
Is that why you were involved in the Osun State's racket?
Never. And that is why today I say we are properly paid. Properly paid in the sense that we never put money.
Not attracted
no,
to it.
We never put money before the job. We put the job before the money. Because that is the consent you have given to the Nigerian people. That's the consent you've given to the president.
In your opinion, what's the best approach to reform the police?
I have not worked with the police force. I didn't work in the police force. But if I have to speak from the position of my own service, I do know that we ought to be paid well. And we ought to be appreciated for staking our lives that people may sleep and do their businesses in safety. That is not what we are getting. I say it with all emphasis.
Okay, what would you give the average policeman? So yes, package.
The market value should determine that. If a bag of rice sells for 25,000 naira today, the local rice, you shouldn't pay a policeman 20,000 for any reason. Where is he going to get the other 5,000 to balance to buy a bag of rice? And are you saying that he's going to buy the rice, there will be no tomato, there will be no meat, there will be nothing? Of course, he's not going to give you his best. In other climes, honestly speaking, it's so interesting working for a security outfit. And then the truth is this, when you are traveling, they are given priority. In Nigeria,
What do you regret most about leaving, the service?
The uncharitableness that we get. People are so uncharitable. They never remember the sacrifice that you make. They never recognize it.
What do you think you're best remembered for?
For informing the Nigerian people about their own security and safety, being security conscious. Because we were in an era where there was a new trend of threat. And without doing what I had to do, of course, I would have been taken unawares. There was a ransom, how will I call it? There was a bonus placed on me, by insurgents, whether it was true or not, And so my office had to work 24 hours or 25 hours ensuring my safety and security. But some other person comes and thinks, you're not important, and throws you out. to the same dogs to eat you up. Right?
Is that how you feel?
Yes. I feel that I've been unfairly treated. I feel that my work was not appreciated. I feel that it doesn't pay to be loyal.
You pick a question and have a lucky dip. There you are.
I'm permitted to open it.
I will think so. I'd expect you to open it and read it. So,
what is the position of the case you took to the National Industrial Court contesting the timing of your retirement from service?
I heard he was thrown out.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
How did you feel?
I look unto God. He's the ultimate judge. And so if man thinks that he prevails on earth, I think I will be the one that will have the last laugh. Because one, there were too many flaws in the letter retiring me from service. The letter read that my services were no longer required, and that the service was undergoing reorganization. Now, the reorganization was taking out somebody or people who still had years in service and bringing into the service people who had retired 5 years before. Injustice. 2, I never made myself the spokesperson of the service. The service appointed me the spokesperson. And it is not in my era or my time in service that service rules and regulations will be rewritten. And I've not heard or seen them even after that. I was not just asked to leave service, I was demoted in rank and tagged to be politically involved.
What was your rank?
As at the time I retired, I was supposed to be an assistant director by rank. And they brought me back 2 steps down and asked that I should go for no reason. No political party card was found on me. No registration was confirmed to be mine of a political party. I was never found campaigning for any political party. All I was doing the job of informing the Nigerian people of the normal, regular security jobs that we do. Because in the war against terror worldwide, for you to be accepted and for you to get acceptance from the people who will be willing to give you information, you must have a face. You must create a conducive environment where people can walk into your office or walk to somebody and confide in somebody as to what is happening around. And so I was sacrificed. I didn't work for myself. I worked for an institution. And the institution decides the job that you're given. If you were working for yourself, the institution was supposed to query you. I never received a verbal nor a written query.
Well, you collected retirement cash, didn't you?
I have not, because I am not yet due for retirement.
Really?
And I can only collect when that which is due me is given back to me. Right. My father taught me not to succumb.
When you talk of your father, where was your mom all of this time?
She's there and she's still alive. She's 86.
She never played any role in your life?
No, she did, you know. Now, when it comes to resilience, my mom right? Because up till when my father died, she's always been a true wife. Never separated. Never faulted him for anything. But would rather say, look at your children. Look at your children. Look at your children. Even when he felt as if, he was tired. A week to when he actually passed, he had called her and said to her, my wife, let me ask you for something. And she said, what? He said, find it in your heart to forgive me. All the mistakes I made. You are a good woman. And you've given me good children. I had no reason whatsoever, according to his words, entering the bush and coming out to the road and going back into mud. You know, when a man says that, it means he's been through all odds, you know.
Those are words of inspiration.
Yes.
Well, we will just cast you away to an island,
Okay.
you know, and as casting you away to an island, you require 5 things, you know, to take along with you. 5 things you will pick in a hurry, but you cannot do without for those 10 days you're going to be in the island there. What will they be?
Now that I'm retired, maybe I would say, okay, phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to reach out to family and friends, to reassure them I'm alive. My Bible.
Okay.
Right?
Are you a Christian?
Yes, of course. I don't have to carry it on my face because
God
I know
fearing.
Very much so.
Water drinking.
I would also carry some water. Okay, island, I don't need water because of course there's water, right? What else? What won't I be able to do without? Maybe some food, right?
Do you eat a lot? Are you the eating type? Are you the food person?
Not exactly, but a chocolatey person.
Really?
Yes.
And then
I love chocolates.
you do?
Yes, I do.
Wow. That's I'd remember that on your birthday. Now what else?
I have said my Bible, my phone, right? A bit of chocolate. A diary,
Okay.
you know, just to take note of everything. My father taught me to take note, to keep notes, keep records of happenings.
The last one.
I keep that to myself, so somebody doesn't use it against me one day.
That's your attitude in security, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, it's been fun, Marilyn, talking to you. Do you have a message for the protesters?
Yeah, I just want them to take it a little bit easy. You know, most times, you know, class issues, there's some people who don't even know the reason why they are protesting, right? But then they need a little bit of excitement. And so because of the lockdown, a lot of people are coming onto the streets and seeing it as an opportunity to be able to vent their anger, but don't really know the real reason. For those ones, they have to be very careful. And for the people in position of authority, for heaven's sake, train a security man. One-time training, it's not enough, right? For police people, security operatives carrying arms, a little medical checks here and there would do, reduce their level of stress, make them a little bit more comfortable, treat them as human beings, and expect the best from them. Don't treat them as animals. When you treat them as animals, the only other way they will want to vent their anger will be on the ordinary citizens.
Is it the same you're saying to the DSS?
For all security and intelligence outfit.
Thank you.
Thank you very
It's been Marilyn Oga on The Chat this week. I am Manny. See you next time. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.